Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening. I know for some of you it's very, very late in the day, but hey, welcome to this English lesson. I'm all set to go here. Before I start, I just wanted to say hi to Tejman and Rachel and Vancoa and Tamer and Ekaterina and Lulu and Eve. I see a lot of you in the chat already. Araldo. And Michaela and Beta, thank you very much for coming to this live English lesson. As you saw, we're going to talk today about opposites. So opposites are a really good way to remember English words. So for instance, just a quick example, this glass is full. The opposite would be empty. So it's a really good idea sometimes to just remember things in pairs like that. Just going to check my audio. Looks like everything's working great. So again, opposites are a kind of a cool technique because they allow you to visualize the words in your head. So as people jump in, hello, Saba, Jao, Abir, Alina, Ilana, Hisin, Gloria, Yada, Ken, Gosia, Laudo. We are here today to talk about opposites. So I'll start with a really, really simple one. So this one's really, really straightforward. As you can see, we have the word happy, and we have a happy face, and we have the word unhappy, and we have a sad face. So let me just check to make sure I'm in the frame. I think I am. So this is what I would mean by opposites. So today I am happy. A few days ago, I was unhappy. So you can see smiley face, sad face, happy and unhappy. And don't think that the whole lesson is going to be this simple. I chose about 20 opposites, and I tried to choose words that were kind of the full range, some easy words and some hard words. Did you see that? I just used some opposites there, easy and hard. But here we have happy and unhappy. You could also have happy and sad. That would be another way to use opposites for those two. So happy, unhappy. I hope all of you are happy today. That would be great. Hello, Yasin, Giovanni. There's a few names I don't know how to pronounce. I think I said hi to Kate already, but hello to everyone there. Yes, once again, I'd like to make sure I mention this. We are here talking about opposites, and we have just gotten started talking about opposites. The next one I have is this, soft and hard. So you can see here, I have ice cream. And ice cream is very soft. When you push your finger against it, your finger goes in. And on this side, I have a sidewalk that's made out of concrete or cement. Those are the two words. So this is very hard. If you were to fall off your bike, this would be a really hard surface to fall on. So ice cream, definitely soft. And then a sidewalk, which is made out of concrete, definitely quite hard. So soft and hard. But then I thought I would also do these opposites. So here we have easy and hard. So we've used the word hard again. And you see here I have a small math equation, 1 + 1, pretty easy to do. So this is definitely easy. And then here, I don't even know what this equation is, but here's a math equation that's definitely hard. So in this case, hard means difficult. So we have easy and we have hard. Hello again to everyone in the chat and everyone that's watching. We're up to 47 people watching. That's amazing. If you're here for the first time, don't forget to click the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. In fact, everyone in the chat, if you want to give me a thumbs up, that would really make my day. So, but yeah, I'm Bob the Canadian. We're learning English here with me. I lost my topic sheet. We're looking at opposites today. So again, welcome to the channel, welcome to the live stream, and then certainly a big shout out. That means I'm saying hi to all the people who are regulars. So the regulars are the people who are in my chat and watch the live stream every week. So welcome. Opposites. Let's keep going. So here we have kind and cruel. So you see this person looks very happy and loving. They look like a very kind person. We have a heart here as well that lets you know that this person is very kind. But here we have a man he's pointing at us, and he looks kind of mean. So to be kind is to be nice, and when you're cruel, it means that you're quite mean to people. So kind and cruel, definitely opposites. We have, well, let's move on. I think you guys got the point on that one. So now we're going to get this a little bit more difficult. So we have import and export. So you can see this airplane is coming towards you, because when you import things, it means that you bring them into your country. So for instance, Canada imports a lot of smartphones from China. Okay, so when you import, it means that your country buys products from another country. When you export, you can see this boat is sailing away. So when you export, it means that you are selling things to another country. So for instance, Canada exports a lot of wheat to the rest of the world. So we import a lot of electronics. So we buy a lot of electronics from other countries, and we export a lot of wheat. That means we sell a lot of wheat to other countries. Do you know what wheat is? It's the crop you grow, and they grind up the wheat to make flour in order to make bread. So import is when you buy stuff from other countries. Export is when you sell stuff to other countries. Next one. Did you think they were all going to be easy? Because these are words we use a lot. Like we use import and export. We use those words regularly. Interior and exterior. So interior is the inside of a building or house. Exterior is the outside. And interesting to note is if you go to buy paint, if I wanted to paint this room, you would want to make sure that you buy interior paint. And if you were to paint the outside of the house, you would want to make sure that you buy exterior paint. So there's a lot of things that you would buy at a hardware store to use on your house, like paint, where there's an interior version of it and an exterior version of it. Interior paint works really well in the house, but it doesn't work good outside because the rain and snow would eventually erode it. So this is the interior of a house. This is the exterior of a house. And we use interior and exterior a lot with buildings. When we're talking about buildings, we use interior and exterior. There you go. Hello again to everyone watching. I've lost track, but I see Misha and Sukata and Antonio. I see Uu has made it. That's awesome. Mustafa. I see Eve. I see Learn English with Cherry. Awesome. We have another English teacher in the group. Michaela. I think I said Mustafa. Peter 028. Grace. Barrel Vision. Nihad. I'm going to lose track here. I recognize so many of the names as people who come regularly, so that's very, very awesome. The next one didn't print right, everybody. This didn't print very well, so I'm going to have to try and hold it together. These pictures were supposed to be on this page. But we have the word, this is hard to hold. People ask me why I use paper, and I like to point at the paper. That's why I use paper. So here we have include and exclude, and let me take a minute to explain this one. So in this group, it looks like they are including all of the people. So everyone is looking at the same thing. Everyone is included. So we would say that here, everyone is part of the group. They are included. But in this picture, these people are all looking at one thing. But this girl way over here, I'm not sure if you can see her, she is excluded from the group. So here they decided to include everyone, but here they have excluded this girl over here. So she's not part of the group. So it's really nice to always include people. So everyone that comes to watch my live streams, you're welcome to be here and you're included, okay? We're all part of the same group. But if I was to kick someone out of chat, I would be excluding them. So include, everyone's together. Exclude usually means there's one or two people that are on the outside where the group has decided to exclude them. I hope that made some sense to you. We in Canada, and I think around the world, always try to include everyone. It's just nice if you play a game. We encourage our children, if they play a game with other kids, to include everybody. So don't leave one of your friends or your classmates off to the side. If you're going to play a game, try to play a game where you include everybody. Here we go. Ancient and modern. So you see on this left-hand side, wait, what side is that for you guys? Yes, on this side, which is the left-hand side, you can see this looks like buildings from a really long time ago that have fallen down. So ancient means old. So these are quite old. And modern means new. So you can see these buildings almost look like they're from the future. So we have ancient, which means old, and modern, which means a lot newer. Interestingly enough, this isn't a nice thing to say, but you can say that people are ancient. So when people are really old, you can say, you could say something like, my grandparents are ancient, which means they're really old. It's not kind to say that. And then we don't describe people necessarily using the word modern. But anyways, ancient, very old, modern, very, very new. So Gervier wants me to start teaching French on my YouTube channel. I just have to say, Gervier, je n'ai pas assez de temps de faire ça. I don't have enough time to do that. I have a great week. I have a full-time job, married, 5 children. Everything keeps me going, but I always make time to do a live stream and to make one video a week. That's really all I have time for, but maybe someday in the future, I'll find some time to do that. But for now, it's just going to be English for a bit. Wow says, my tips are always great. Awesome. We got 60 people in the chat. That's awesome as well. Priyo Newt says, hello. Cyan is here. Kuhn is here. Welcome, guys. And hello to Gervier and Tejman. I'm glad you're here, Tejman. Glad you made it, because I thought you weren't going to be able to make it today. And Rad is here. Welcome to everybody. We're looking at opposites if you're just joining us. Blunt and sharp. So I'll start with sharp. This knife is sharp. Someone has sharpened the knife. So they made it so that it cuts really well. This in English is something we call a butter knife. I'm not sure what you call it in your country, but this knife is not sharp, okay? It's not sharpened and it's blunt. We use this type of knife to put butter or margarine on our bread. So it's used to spread, use it to spread things on your bread. That rhymes, by the way. Should I do rhyming words next week? So this knife is blunt, which means it's not sharp, and this knife is very, very sharp. And we sharpen other things as well, right? You can sharpen a pencil. I have one here somewhere. Maybe I don't. So this pencil, you can see it's getting a little bit dull. Blunt. I don't know if we use blunt for pencils, but we could sharpen this. We could put it in a thing and we could sharpen it. So that is blunt and sharpen. Next one. Thanks, Mustafa. You said I was awesome, so very good. And Sodi, thanks for being part of the notification squad. So care and neglect. So when we take care of someone, it means that we make sure they have food. It makes we take them to a doctor if they need help from the doctor. When you care about someone, it usually means that if it's a family member, because you love them, you take care of them. So here we have this person is holding this person's hand or arm a little bit, and maybe they're in a waiting room getting ready to see a doctor, but there's definitely care. So a good example would be parents care for their children. But here we see neglect. So neglect is when you don't care for someone or something. So you see this building, a little hard to see, but there's a big hole in the wall, and the building seems to be crumbling and falling down. So that is an example of neglect. So care is when you go out of your way to make sure someone's okay, and neglect is when you just don't take care of something or someone. So these buildings are in a state of neglect. Sad. I like it when people take care of stuff. That's always a lot nicer. So Gosia says James Blunt. So James Blunt, I think, is a singer from the UK, but yeah, his last name happens to be the same as something that's dull. I won't make any more comments about that. Clean and dirty. So we're going a little bit back towards some easier ones. You can see this kitchen is clean. It's spotless. So that's another way in English we describe something as clean. If I visit my mom, her house is spotless, so it means that it's clean. And here we see a room where it's just very dirty. There's things laying on the floor, a little hard to see for you guys. Looks like windows are taped up, etc., etc. So here we have something that's clean. The opposite of clean is then dirty. So clean and dirty. Try to keep your houses clean. That's my recommendation. Next one. Earn and spend. And I know from talking to some people who are learning English, it's easy to get these two confused. So when you earn money, I tried to find a picture here where everyone's at work. You work and you go and have a job, and you go to your job to earn money. So when you earn money, it means that your boss or the place where you work is giving you money for the work that you've done. You've earned it, okay? When you spend money, so we see a grocery receipt here, and there's a lot of groceries in the background. When you spend money, it's when you give that money to other people in order to get things. So I earn money at my job, and I spend money at the grocery store, mostly at the grocery store. You remember I just said I have 5 children. Most of the money that my wife and I spend, we spend on groceries, almost all the time. Just give me 2 seconds here. I'll be right back. I'm still in the room. I just have to blow my nose a little bit. Just had to blow my nose a little bit. Do you know what blow your nose? Like I took a Kleenex and blew my nose. A little bit of a runny nose this morning. Prose and poetry are the next two. So I don't know how easy it is for you to see this, but this is prose. And when something is prose, it's written with sentences and paragraphs. And it's prose is something you find in a newspaper, in a novel or book. So it's written in prose. But poetry is written in verses. So paragraphs here, verses here. And many times the lines in the poem will rhyme. So when you have prose, it's like this with sentences and paragraphs. And when you have poetry, it's usually written in verses. So prose and poetry. If you like poetry, that's really cool. I find it's actually harder to write a poem than it is to write, a long paper or an essay for me. So tight and loose are the next two. So this man is working on a car. He has a wrench in his hand and he is tightening the bolt. So he is making it tight. So when something's tight, I'm not sure which way you turn things in your country, but if I have a bolt and I put a wrench on it and I turn it, I am tightening it. So I'm making it nice and tight. And you can see in this other picture, we have a rope and it's very, very loose. So this man is making this bolt tight. And here we have a rope that's very, very loose. So sometimes your shoelaces get loose and you have to retie your shoes so that your shoes are on tightly. You want to make them tight. So hopefully you can see the difference. Loose and then tight. Those are the two right there. Hello again to everyone in chat. I think we're almost at 70 people, I'm just a little shocked. I like to pretend there's only one or two of you, but that's a lot of people, so thanks for coming. Here we have maximum and minimum. So I use speed limit signs here. Here we have speed limit 25. So the maximum, the fastest you can go is 25 kilometers an hour. So that the maximum is always the most, or the highest limit. Sometimes when you go on an elevator, it will say maximum 10 people. That means only 10 people can go on the elevator. But here we have a sign that says minimum speed 60 kilometers an hour. That means that you can't go slower than that. So that's the lower limit now, okay? So you sometimes will have, when kids want to go on a ride, it'll say, you know, minimum, you need to be this tall to go on the ride, and there'll be a minimum. So maximum is a high limit, and minimum is a low limit. So here I only have one picture, optimist and pessimist. So an optimist is someone who they're always smiling, and they always see things, they always see the bright side of things. And then a pessimist always sees the negative side of things. So in English we have this funny saying, an optimist would say the glass is half full, but a pessimist would say the glass is half empty. So I think hopefully that helps you understand the difference. An optimist is always excited about their day and thinks everything will go well. A pessimist sometimes thinks everything will go badly in their day. So an optimist thinks the glass is half full. A pessimist thinks the glass is half empty. Have you heard that in your language? Let me know in the chat if you have a similar saying in your language, optimist and pessimist. Just say like I do or something like that. So welcome again to people in the chat. It looks like Ninas is here. Looks like Wyfon is here. Sabrina, Eamon, Johnio, Drake. I don't think it's the real Drake, but here we go. Foolish and wise. So here I found a picture of two tigers, and we have the mom and the baby. And so a foolish person is someone who isn't very smart. A foolish person can be someone who makes bad decisions, or sometimes really young kids can be foolish. So we can kind of picture this baby tiger as maybe being a little bit foolish. It's not nice to call someone foolish. It's actually a bit of an insult, but foolish means not very smart. The opposite of that is wise. So as we get older, we get wiser, and to be wise means that you're not just smart, but you have a lot of experience in life, and you're just good at giving people advice on good things to do in life. So I put the mother tiger here to represent wise. So foolish, not very smart, and then wise would be just like it's more than smart. Definitely, if you're wise, you're smart, but you actually just have a depth of experience would be a good way to say it. Here we have guilty and innocent. So this person's in jail. He was guilty of whatever he did. So guilty means that you did it. So let's say you're a bad person. I know none of you are, but let's pretend you're a bad person and you stole a car and the police caught you and they have evidence on video camera that you stole the car. You're guilty of stealing that car. But let's say your brother stole a car and he looks a lot like you. Your brother would be guilty, but you would be innocent. That means you didn't do it. It wasn't me, you would say. So guilty people who are guilty of crimes end up in jail. People who are innocent, hopefully, do not end up in jail. So those are two opposites as well, guilty and innocent. Just have a few left here, guys, so keep watching. We're almost done. And Bear Wilson says, we have the same idea in my country for optimist and pessimist. Thanks, Bear Wilson. And I see people are chatting to each other in the chat. That's awesome. It's great that you can practice a little bit. I just want to say good morning to Assad, Johnio, Kareem, if I say hi to you twice, well, it's just an extra hi for the day, isn't it? And hello to everyone from China. I'll talk to you later next week about my channel in China. Here we have fear and courage. So this child is afraid. So he is experiencing fear. And he's hiding under these pillows while he sits on the couch. But this person is at the top of a really, really high mountain. So this person has a lot of courage. So this person has fear, and this person has courage. So I'm afraid of heights. I think I mentioned that in another video. So to me, this person has a ton of courage, has a lot of courage to be willing to go that high on a mountain. So fear and courage. And then here's confess and deny. So let's talk again about, let's say you stole a car. Don't steal, by the way, it's bad. But let's say you stole a car. If you confess to stealing the car, it means you tell the truth. So you would say to the police, I stole the car, it was me, I am confessing, okay? But if you were to say, it wasn't me, I'm innocent, that means you are denying it, okay? So you can deny something you did, like you could lie about it, but you can also deny doing something because you didn't do it. So I could say, it wasn't me, I didn't do it, and that might be a lie because maybe I did steal the car. Or I could say, it wasn't me, I didn't do it, because it actually wasn't me, I didn't do it. So confess and deny. So, well, hey, if there's any questions, throw them in the chat. That's all the words. We did all the opposites that I had prepared for this morning. I just want to thank all of you once again for jumping into the live stream. If you have any questions, put them in the chat right now. Again, if you don't know who I am, I'm Bob the Canadian. I teach English right here on YouTube. You can subscribe by hitting the red subscribe button below. You can give me a thumbs up. I like thumbs up. They make me happy. I don't know why. It's just a thumb, right? But it makes me happy. Mustafa asks, have you ever been to Turkey? And did you see the Hagia Sophia? I have not been to Turkey. I have not traveled very much at all. I would like to travel more in the future, but right now, my priority in life is to work every day, to provide for my family, and just be a good husband and a good dad. So it doesn't leave a lot of time for traveling. Plus, my wife and I also run a flower farm. You may have seen a couple of my videos where I give tours of the farm. That keeps us busy as well. So Peter, I'm glad that you learned a lot today, and you're welcome to everyone else who's watching. Again, if you have questions, put them in the chat. Don't forget, it's a good idea to come back tomorrow and watch this again. It's always a good idea when you're learning a language to watch videos more than once. It can be boring the second time through, less interesting, but it's good for your ear and your brain to hear everything one more time, especially the live stream, because it doesn't have subtitles. It's a good idea to watch it again. So anyways, I was going to say something else. People are saying thank you, so I will say you're welcome. This was a lot of fun again. Don't forget, there will be a new video next Tuesday and another live stream next Friday. And I'm really happy to do these. And I will come up with a really good topic for next week. But anyways, the next question is, Bob, will you ever make us learn second conditional sentence? So, I don't do a lot of grammar lessons. And it's something that I want to add to my YouTube channel, but I haven't had time yet. I like to do the videos where I go outside and teach English outside. And I like to teach the live streams just to give really good tips about phrasal verbs and things like that. But thanks, Assad. I will think about how to fit that in. Maybe try to find some time to do straight grammar. But thank you again, everybody who's watching. There's so many thank yous in the chat. That's awesome. I hope you have a really good weekend. I'm going to work all day yet. Well, most of you are almost done work or you're already at home. But thanks again so much for watching. I'm going to find the button on my screen that turns off this live stream. Super fun that you guys could stop in.